Hi there. My name is Christian Sakura, and just to get right to it, I want to go ahead and talk about my strategy for keeping up a paper in our theoretical paper industry, I guess. All right, so I had kind of a hard mental process thinking through all this, so I wrote a lot of things down. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys through it. After the readings of the Time Picayune, their what they went through, um, one of my first one of the first things that I noticed was that the Advocate emerged to take over the days that they weren't printing or to like print in unison. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but um, one of the ideas that came to mind of like right off the bat because of that was a dual paper system. Seeing that our paper would partner with another paper to maybe try to take a little bit of the impact from both companies. But as I was reading through the information on our like what what factors into the proposal. It is the primary source, so I don't think too many. I don't think the dual paper system would have worked. After that, I thought merger, but that is already um, it's kind of the same thing. It would have just been a little more process. Another a couple of other thoughts were maybe sell out to a bigger corporation. I don't know how that would work with small time local news, seeing that 75% of the people there are retirees, and from what I've been reading, it seems that retirees like to have um, a more homegrown type of news, if you understand what I mean. Um, so that was all. That all seemed like it wouldn't work. Uh, I did also do a little bit more research into what other companies were trying out, like Times, and it's shrinking the papers, and others um, doing web content. What I eventually came to in my strategy was that the first off, the paper did need to be scaled down. That's where the money would start coming in, and that's where we'd start cutting costs right away, right off the bat. But I also saw that in my reading, papers that cut their staff tended to lose circulation instead of growing any. So I thought maybe not scaling down any of the workers, but having sweeping pay cuts throughout the whole company, seeing that we do try to add a little bit more revenue in that way, try to like lower the deficit even more. Of course, that would be a little bit uh, iffy the whole time. So for right now, my idea is our scale down the paper with a really strong push into digital. Some ideas could be, um, in my reading, I was going through the some of the most successful businesses, most successful newspapers, and I found that a lot of the papers were daily one and had a lot like had strong web content. So um, I don't remember which paper, but they were doing coverage after the shooting of Freddie Gray, and they had a lot of video content, and that really pushed their company over the top and got really benefited them as a paper overall. So my thought was, in a way to connect the digital and the newspaper together would be to have the paper continuously printed for the 75% of retirees who are in the town, but also have the paper have like a strong push into the digital section, kind of interesting more towards having an interest more for college students and the workers. So we'd have the story straight in the paper, and then it'd be like the basics of the story. The story it'd be in the paper the way it is, but then we could also have links from the paper to websites. I know that sounds not smart having a link to a page, but having the knowledge there is uh, a good way to attract younger people to go from the paper into the web, which at that point would be producing a lot more of the revenue for the company. Um, Action reporting is what I was thinking about, kind of like how they did during the whole Freddie Gray incident. They had the newspaper had people in there doing coverage with cameras and all that stuff, and it turned into a really nice documentary. Um, so my proposal so far is scale down the paper, strengthen the digital, and then link the two. Find some way for the paper to push readers to the website. And then from there, the website can be its own thing, kind of like maybe like a online news channel or something. Other than that, I'm not really sure. I did look into the salaries of what journalists make. It seems that with cutting, I mean, I'm not sure where this would fit into our, I don't know what we're calling it, our project. But I found that the average pay rate for a journalist is $38,095, and our deficit right now is 200,000. So if we really needed to, we could cut 6 journalists, and then there's the deficit. But like I said, most papers that I don't know if I actually said this, but it was found that most papers that cut their staff actually lose circulation, and most papers that have actually an above average staff tend to do a lot better when it comes to retaining its readers. Um, so, what I can see, I'm heading over the time. So, just to recap, scale down the paper in conjunction with a stronger digital presence. Um, and then, uh, actually, that's pretty much it. Just with uh, a strong a strong presence in like the video, like YouTube or something like that. Anyway, that's my proposal. Thanks for listening, and I'm out. Peace.